All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful like the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. And now I want to get into today, dealing with Esau and how he's the destroyer of peace. He's the destroyer of peace. And that's, the assignment that he's been given by Yahweh Bashim Shai. As we mature, in understanding, as we grow in the truth, we come to understanding that that's Esau's duty on the earth is to be a destroyer of peace. Okay? We have to understand that the sons of God, the Lord, put us in these positions, okay, to learn. He put us in captivity to a man that was a destroyer of the peace, because that's what's going to make us appreciate peace in the kingdom. It's going to make us understand the importance of establishing righteousness and maintaining righteousness in the earth, and it's really going to make us cherish peace. It makes us cherish peace now, as the Lord has allowed us, to find, little pockets of peace in the midst of the chaos, which we're still vexed because we're here, and we still have an expectation beyond this current kingdom, okay? But the Lord let us experience peace in Him, to want more of it, to really want to experience it in its fullness, man. Okay. And this devil was set up to take away peace. All right. And that's why we have a hope in this man being removed from power and eventually being removed from the earth, man. The energy of Esau Edom, okay, is not needed. Okay. Once he fulfilled his lot of being the wicked, of running this wicked empire, okay, and once he fulfills, his slavery in the kingdom after 1,000 years, he's not going to be needed, man. The energy of an Edomite is not needed in the planet Earth. And that's another thing that we see why the Lord is going to get rid of this man after 1,000 years. He's going to get rid of that nation. All right. The lineage of Esau, okay, will be no more. Okay. And we fully see why. All right. Now, just reading here, Revelation 6:4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Okay? So this is speaking of Esau and his rulership, and he was given the power to take peace from the earth. Okay? So Esau is, he's in this position of power because someone on the horse is a position of power. Okay, a position of authority. Okay, so this man has been given a position of authority in the earth by the Most High to rule the earth in complete wickedness, and that's what he's doing. Okay, and his wickedness, his wicked rulership just sucks the peace out of the earth, man. And see, in America really experienced this man's wickedness covertly. Okay, the way he poisons the food. All right, the constant, enchantments of the TV, the media, the music. Okay, the chemical warfare against Jake. Okay, with the drugs. Okay, the oppressive, financial system. You see, he covertly, takes the peace out of the earth over here in America. It's becoming more overtly now. But throughout the earth, man, these other nations, they experience Esau in a completely different life. Because they don't know when they're going to get bombed. Okay? They don't know when they're going to get their resources took from them and they just be plunged into poverty. And, he destroys their environment. See, now that's coming to America, with these data centers. Now, America's experiencing the full Edomite experience, all right, that this man does throughout the earth. Okay? because we've been experiencing things on a light level compared to how this man destroys the environments, wages war, okay, in these other nations. See, now that's coming home, okay? But in every facet of life, this man is just uh extrapolating peace from it, man. Okay? When you go into let's get there because it spoke about that he sat on the horse. He that sat on the horse had power to take peace from the earth. Well, you look at it, who's on the horse? Sirach 10 and 5, it says, there's an evil which I have seen under the sun, which is in the earth, as an error which proceeded from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. Because in Esau's world, his heaven, folly is the standard. You know, this man creates folly as a way to be. Okay? The alphabet community, that's folly, man. Nigga culture, street culture, that's all folly, man. And then those are all synthetic ways to be. That's not natural. Okay? The, you know, all these false religions, you see, the modern woman, feminism, all this unnatural, man. That's folly. Okay? And it destroys peace. What peace has feminism brought to the earth? Okay? What peace have nigga culture brought to the earth? Okay? His political system, the Democrat and Republic, what peace has that brought to the earth? Okay, there's people getting divorces and fights and riots based on who you vote for. Okay, everything that this man has established in the earth, it brings about some type of death, violence, dysfunction, chaos. Everything that this man has presented to the earth as a way to be, it comes with those things, man. Okay? So this in this man's world, folly is the standard. Okay? When people try to go viral, what do they go viral for? Folly. Okay, you look at social media, it's a folly competition, man. But these things are the normal in the world of Esau. These things are the norm. Okay, and this the point. I have seen servants upon horses. Okay, and that's Esau. Okay, he's a servant that's on the horse. He's not meant for rulership. He's not built to rule. Okay, to sum up, Esau's rulership has been organized chaos, man. And now the organization of the chaos is leaving, you know? And people think that this man has it together because he's able to organize the chaos. Okay? He's able to organize his violence. So people think that he got it together. Okay? But it's been chaos all along. Okay? The more this man was able to infuse, his philosophy in the earth, the more chaos has erupted in the earth, man. Okay? The chaos is directly linked to this man's rulership and this man's philosophy, man. Okay? All the uproars of the earth, all the arguments, everything that people complain about, it all is rooted back to his rulership, man. Okay? He has completely destroyed people. People are ready on the lie. People are ready to check out, man. People on the internet saying, look, if I go to sleep and don't wake up, I'm cool. The earth ain't supposed to be like that, man. The earth is not supposed to be to where people, all right, don't mind just checking out, man. Okay? The earth was meant to be enjoyed. And the earth was meant to be a paradise, man. Okay? The earth was meant for abundance. You see? And this man has completely taken that away. To where you got to destroy yourself to make a living, man. To get the bare necessities needed for life, you got to destroy yourself with labor. Okay? You got to be amongst, the population, the bitterness, and everybody's bitter, everybody's on edge. Okay? And he has made this the norm. You see? And in the kingdom, man, we're just gonna enjoy the simple things, man, because this man has just destroyed, all right, everything, even to the simplest things. This man has destroyed, man. You know, the way you gotta raise children here, man. Okay, that's another thing. People don't even want to bring children, okay, into the earth, man. That's not natural, man. The children is supposed to be a joy. A man, being able to bring his legacy forth, man, it's supposed to be a joy. A woman being a joy. The scripture speaks about the woman being a joyful mother of children. A man with many sons and daughters. These things are a joy. Okay, but this man has turned it to a nightmare. Everything that was made to enjoy, this man has turned to a nightmare, man. Okay, but still at the forefront telling you he know the way. Now he's telling you the digital system is the way. He's destroyed, all right, the concept of life as we know it. Okay, as a man, most women that you deal with it's like a mystery box. You don't know what you're gonna get when dealing with this dealing with the modern woman, man. You don't know what you're gonna get, man. It's like a mystery box because of what this society produces, man. You out amongst Jake, man. These niggas on edge, especially these little young niggas, man. You're not supposed to be, you know, you're not supposed like the elderly are in fear of the youth, man. That's ass backwards, man. But that's because of Esau. Okay, you're not supposed to have anxiety when you're around your own people, man. Okay, you get around Jake, you don't know what these niggas is on, man. Watching this nigga, in the hoodie, and he just, looking crazy. So it's like, is this not normal, man? Okay, but this is the earth under Esau. So he reads again, say, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And the princes are the Israelites, man. The rich sit in low place because Israelites are rich in integrity, you know, rich in, honesty, rich in fairness. Okay. The Israelites, all right, were made to rule the earth. Now we're in a fallen state, all right, and there's a remnant that's being restored, in this time, okay? But as a people, we are, our people in the fallen state. But even in Jake's lower state, Jake still, a lot of Jake still have more integrity than Esau, man. Okay, now you got Jake that just fully enchanted with, the madness, the enchantments of Esau, Edom. You can't even be around them niggas, with a nigga woman that's fully enchanted in his madness, man. But even sir, Jake's, you got to come across your day to day. Does Jake have a certain integrity about themselves, man? Especially older Jakes. They have a certain integrity about themselves, man. A certain fairness, a certain straightforward, okay? Certain honesty about themselves, man. Okay? And as the Lord has, awakened his remnant, okay, and amongst that you have the prophets, okay, men rich in wisdom, rich in understanding, rich in, virtue. All right, we're becoming rich in these things, but we're in a low place in this society. So King Solomon is seeing this, and he's like, this is an error. Something is wrong here. Okay? And Yahweh Shai, he's coming to turn everything upside up. Right side up, I mean. Okay? Because this is ass backwards, man. And in this man's kingdom, you can't have peace, man. Every argument or disagreement that you have with your woman is based on some shit he put in her head, man. Okay? It's a doctrine, that she's operating off this nigga program. Okay? That's why most of the time, you have a disagreement with the woman. You're disagreeing with an Edomite, man, because she's, the woman, majority of women have became what? An extension of an Edomite. They have been weaponized by Esau. It ain't supposed to be like, it ain't supposed to be this hard to deal with a woman. It ain't supposed to be this hard to have a family. It's not supposed to be this hard to accumulate wealth, man. Okay? These things are not supposed to be this hard, and it's not supposed to come with this headache, man. Okay? But this man has created a society where the simple things, okay, have become a war. You gotta go to war to make a living. A lot of people at war in these relationships, man. A lot of people at war trying to shield their children from the madness of this world, man. It's not supposed to be like that. You at war with your diet, you know? You gotta be, strict as hell, for the most part to try to maintain yourself, man. Okay? The way that we gotta be so tedious in how we eat, which we supposed to eat in moderation. That's our culture. We eat in moderation. Okay? But, the strictness that's required, to maintain yourself, it ain't supposed to be like this, man. We supposed to just be, reading ingredients and reading labels. Everything's supposed to be a whole food. It's supposed to be what it said it is, man. Okay? You get okay, some peanuts. Why does it have a paragraph on the peanuts, man? It's just supposed to be peanuts. That's the whole food. Okay? You shouldn't be it shouldn't be a luxury to have grass fed beef. All the beef should be grass fed. Look at all the grass in the earth. What are we doing? Okay? So how this man runs the earth, matter of fact, let's get that. Because that's in the book of Sirach 30, I believe it's 39. Okay, Sirach 39 and 26. It said the principal things for the whole use of a man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, which is the wine, and the oil and clothing. So the Lord made these things, all right, to benefit us, man. The earth is supposed to benefit us, man. This man has made to where the earth harms us, man. Okay? Certain, you gotta investigate what honey to get. You gotta stay away from this and stay away from that. It's not because the thing itself is bad, it's because the nigga in rulership has tainted everything, man. Okay? It's not that women are bad, it's just the nigga in rulership has tainted most women. Okay? It's not that family is bad. Family is a great thing, but this nigga has made it difficult to have a family in this society. Okay? So the things that are now, people, you know, the things that people shy away from is supposed to be the things that we indulge in. And the things that people indulge in are the things we're supposed to truly stay away from. This is a backward society, man. Okay? And a society that's lacking peace because of this devil is in the way, man. Okay? Nations are not supposed to be a continual war like this. This ain't natural, man. Okay? The way this man just around the earth just blowing shit up, man. Okay? Constantly threatening nations and this and that. Okay? People aren't supposed to be in constant fear, man. People aren't supposed to be in constant survival mode. But under this devil, this is the norm. This nigga's the problem. The earth has an Edomite problem, man. That's the source of all the problems on the earth. The earth has an Edomite problem, man. Okay? So finishing on, it says, I'll read verse 25. Sirach 39:25 said, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for the sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, okay? Fire, iron, and salt. What does the devil do with fire? He makes weaponry. Fire and iron, what does he do? He makes weapons, all right? They could take a nation off the map, okay? What does he do with fire and iron, man? Those things wasn't made, all right, to have a storehouse of missiles, man. Okay, and the Lord allowed this man to make those weaponry to destroy his damn self, man. Okay? And that's why it's not gonna be any weapons. These nations are not gonna have weapons in the kingdom. They're gonna go back to working. Okay? The knowledge, people are gonna go back to the knowledge of the land, the knowledge of the earth. The earth is gonna be worked. All this formable land in the earth is not being formed because people don't know the earth. He separated people from the knowledge of the earth, and people just worship his technology. Okay, this whole earth has abundance. Well, this man has separated people from the knowledge of the earth, so he took away a lot of value. You see, people's concept of value and worth is linked to a goddamn piece of paper, a dollar. No, true value, wisdom is above that. Because if you had wisdom of the earth, okay, the less money you need, the less of this man's money you need, the more wisdom you have of the earth, the less of this man's money you need. Because most of your money goes to what? Getting resources. Okay? Most of your money goes to what? All right. Uh Mortgage, rent, groceries. Okay. But if you had knowledge of the earth, okay, you can plant your grocery store. You had knowledge of the earth, you can build you a house. Okay? You had knowledge of the earth, you can make your medicine. You can be your own physician. You see? And brothers tap into these things, but we know it's only so far we're going to get on this side. Ultimately, this place got to be destroyed. That's the end all be all. Everything else, insufficient. We brothers tap into things. Some of you sisters may even tap into particular things, and that's beautiful. Because we getting back to, you know, depending on our power more and more. All right, but we know we need a savior. We need Yahweh Shai to come conquer in righteousness, man, and deliver us out this situation. That's the end goal. So we do particular things. Now there's nothing wrong. If you do it, you don't. All right, you're not wrong either way. Okay, because we're learning the concept of life. Some brothers, a few sisters are able to, start to implement more. As we learn and we grow. All right, but either way, the end game is salvation, man. Okay, it says Sirach 39 and 27 said all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. This man has turned everything into evil, man, that the Lord made us to enjoy. You're supposed to, like I said, you're supposed to enjoy food without, worrying about what is this doing to me. You're not supposed to be at war with food. Okay, as a man, let's say you're not supposed to be at war with your wife. Okay, you're not supposed to be at war with your children. Okay, you're not supposed to be at war with your fellow Israelite. Okay, everybody just on edge, and any second, somebody could be unalive for nothing, man. That's not normal. Okay, the Lord gave us these things to enjoy. Okay, a woman not supposed to dread being a mother. That's not normal. Okay, these things are not normal, man. And the Lord's getting ready to erase this man. All right, erase his kingdom, put this man in captivity, and then eventually he's gonna be erased, man. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutations to the whole select Shalom.